Welcome back to yet another episode of Thinking and Destiny, which is our 50th episode. We have traveled a long this journey of learning, thinking, and destiny here. So before we go further into the Percival wisdom, let's connect to the consciousness of Percival and let his wisdom flow through every one of us. Okay. Please sit in a meditative posture. Cross your legs, clasp your hands, and close your eyes. Please observe your slow, steady, normal, tranquil breath. Remember, whatever you are thinking, you are breathing in. So be watchful of your thoughts. You are not only taking a vital energy into your body. If you are not with your breath and if you start thinking, those thoughts are going and flowing into your blood through your breath. Give a break to your thoughts. Focus on your breath. Completely focus on your breath. Please place your hands on your eyes for a few seconds. And open your eyes with a beautiful smile on your face. Before we go further in today's class, let's recap what we have discussed in the last class. Over to you, Balagar.
Okay. Last week, Prasanna covered how thoughts produce direct results, and then the mental healing cause of the disease. So these three topics in last week we learned. So how thinking yields direct physical results. By practicing religious prayers to God, one can never free from diseases, worry, want, or trouble. That's what Percival says, just by practicing religious prayers to God, one can never free from disease, worry, want, or trouble. Only with power of thought, people can be succeeded. That's what he says. People can distinguish between real and unreal, truth or false. Instead of enjoying through spiritual wisdom, people enjoy through sensations. When doer deny the reality, they suffer from disease and poverty. Humans worship only through their senses, not the truth and the universal mind. They give importance to health, comfort, and money. Their light is feeble and views are distorted. Their thinking is wrong, opposed to facts, and distorted. So diseases, when it comes to diseases are sediments of improper thinking and exteriorization of improper thinking. That is how the disease starts. Disease is one of the severe enforcement law of payment through which something to be learned. So it comes to us, either we have to balance our karma or something we need to learn through that. Disease continues until the doer learns from it. Diseases have been healed by faith since long time. Mental and physical healing can be done by repetition of words, self-suggestion, willing, desiring, and commanding. With honest thoughts, when everything balanced, the cure will be permanent. That's what he says. Thoughts are seeds of diseases. To some, destiny, that is karma, will not allow to be cured. Diseases are accumulated sediments of thoughts. Thoughts of mental atmosphere enter through the openings and centers of the four systems and through head and also through head, and then leave their sediments. Once one has entertained a thought, it remains in one's mental atmosphere until it is balanced. A thought may be in the mental atmosphere due to several individual thoughts or thoughts of many human beings at the same time. It can be one individual's several thoughts or several individual human thoughts together. They can be intermingled irrespective of the distance, he says. Life and death does not make any difference with respect to the thought of the doer. So even after death also, it continues the thought process. Thoughts which are not balanced enter into the new body in the next life and manifest as physical ailments. A thought is always entertained in the heart. It awakens, stimulates, and attracts the blood. The one who holds the thought is not conscious of this. Example, if a person wants to acquire a property, his thought dwells in his digestive system and excretory tracts. If he seeks the property by fair means, it will not affect his health. But if he has a thought of fraud or oppression, this will leave a mark and appear as a disease. If the thought is right, it brings good health. If the thought is wrong, it brings disease. That's what he says. The digestive system dwells in thoughts of food, drink, physical possessions. Circulatory system dwells in thoughts of angry, envy, jealousy, revenge, ingratitude, and their opposites. Respiratory system dwells in thoughts of pride, ambition, conceit, remorse, and their opposites. Sexual thoughts dwell in generative system. The system includes, the thought system also includes the spinal cord, quadrigemina, that is reflex centers for vision and hearing, pituitary body, optic thalami, pineal body, optic nerve, eyes, organs in the throat, mouth, breast, and in the kidneys. So these are all the systems, he says, it also include. 4 systems may be interlinked. So the 4 systems are respiratory, circulatory, digestive, and regenerative. So these all 4 systems are interlinked, he says. All systems cooperate and depend upon each other. Lives of digestive and arteries, veins, circulatory, and breath of the respiratory and regenerative, they're all linked. Liver acts in the radiant body in the production of sex germs to contribute to generative system. So in this way, liver contributes. All 4 systems correlated with brain and solar plexus by nerves. The fluids and the aids of the 4-fold physical body interact with all systems. When the thought enters into the heart, it receives attention from rightness and reason. So it puts in touch with the respiratory system. That's what we covered last week.
Thank you. Thank you, Balagaru. So we will continue that. The 18th one was not yet completed. So we'll continue that one. So let me screen one. Okay. Okay. Here it is, the one. The science of breath. So breath means usually what we know as per the science is, we know that we are actually taking the breath and we are air, and it is our respiratory system is filtering, and we are taking the oxygen and we are actually relieving the carbon dioxide. This is what we know as per the science. So what Parsival is saying, we see science of breath, the pranayama, the object of which controls a thought through the respiratory system and is the way to affect, among other things, the cure of disease by mental means. So by the mental means. So here, if you take, if our Anapanasati, whatever we are actually doing the meditation, we are taking the breath and we are asking to focus on the breath. So what exactly it is doing? When we're taking a breath and focusing on the breath, we are actually silencing our mind. You are silencing your mind because, as Buddha said, when you are with the breath, you cannot be with your thought. So sometimes you may say, oh, I'm with the breath, but I'm getting the thoughts. No. That time your attention was drift away from your breath. That is why you are getting a thought. Okay. So whenever you are actually, when you are taking a breath, if you are not with the breath and if you are actually thinking something else, remember, those are the thoughts which you are also breathing in. Not just the oxygen and carbon dioxide that you are breathing in and breathing out the carbon dioxide. That's not the one. If you are not actually with your breath, if whatever the thoughts that you are taking, you are also consuming that breath. So your breathing corresponds to your physical disease. So when you are breathing in, if you are not actually consuming the right kind of thoughts, all the thoughts are going inside and it may cause the physical disease. Breathing corresponds to the thinking, and indeed the ultimate physical cause of the disease. It corresponds to your thinking. So because you are not with your breath, you are thinking, and that thinking is going inside, and that is also causing the disease. So very simple feelings also. So the feelings of jealous, feelings of comparison, feelings of envy, feelings of anger, all those things are all the feelings that are causing the physical disease within you. So whenever you are feeling that low vibration feelings, do not think that others are getting affected. Only you are getting affected because you are breathing in with that jealous, you are breathing in. So always try to be with the high vibrational emotions. While you are in the emotion, also be in the high vibrational emotions. Do not be in that low vibrational emotion. Whatever you ask for, you are getting it. Whatever you work for, you are getting. Suppose if your neighbor is getting something else, or if somebody else is getting something else, they must have worked for it. They must have asked for it. They got it. Do not compare yourself. Each one's life is so different. In a family of four itself, each person is so different. Then you cannot. So when you are actually comparing, that is the only way you are getting your low vibrations. Otherwise, when you don't compare, you will always go into the high vibrations only. Remember, I'll just give you an example. In a glass of water, suppose if I take a glass and in a glass of water, this is a pure water, I can drink. Suppose I put the 2 spoons of the salt in it. Can I able to drink it? I cannot drink it, right? Because it became salty and it is not a drinkable. So here we are thinking that we are only this much consciousness. Okay, we are only this much, means me. I am thinking it's only me, my body. That is the consciousness. So whenever some small feeling was poured in that, and it is getting non-usable or whatever it is. Suppose if you take a river, you go and put the 2 spoons of salt in the river. What will happen? Nothing will happen. still you can use it. So expand your consciousness like a river. Do not be like small thing, right? Do not be like me, my own body. This is my consciousness. This is my thing. Do not stop there. So expand your consciousness like a river. So in that case, nothing will poke your consciousness, because in that consciousness, you feel that everybody else surrounded by you also there within you. Also there within your consciousness, you are able to see that aham brahmasmi state, tattvamasi state. So when you are able to see that one, then you can see everything within you and you in everyone. Then there's no point of getting a low vibrational energies. You will always be in the high vibrational energies only. Even in the family, let us take somebody is not doing well, somebody uttered some of the things. Then what do you say? If your kid don't all being a parents, all of us has faced our teenage kids are yelling at us. Then are we actually hating them? No, right? So we are, oh, he is like that. What way we can deal with they deal with it? How we can make them calm? How we can make them understand? This is how we are thinking. But if it comes to the other person, then that aham, that means me, my body is coming. So your consciousness is limited to your family. So expand your consciousness. In that case, even if somebody else is also thinking, then you will, what way we can correct it? What way I can tell in a smoother way? How can I make her understand? So this way you will be able to think it. So you will not get a disease, because you are actually thinking all are our people, all are mine, all are the same consciousness. Be in that state. That is what you're saying. Breathing carries the thought, causes the deposit of thought through the blood, and silently speaks the disease into the existence. So through your blood, it is going, every thought that you are going, it is going into the blood. Silently, it is actually growing the disease within you. So the disease, when it grows, when you have a negative vibration, that is why I gave those many examples. So by thought, a thought that is being entertained and emits the sound in the life world. See, a thought that is entertained in your mind is emitting a sound in the life world, not in the physical world. It is emitting a sound in the life world. So it is starting from there. So once you are entertaining a thought, it is emitting the sound there. A thought, these worlds are put into the touch with the physical structure of the body. So while thought dwells in a part of the human body, sounds in a region of the loud. When one thought is actually dwelling in your human body, that is also sounding in the life world. So someday they will get materialized, they will get exteriorized. Elementals build from form according to the spoken sound. So whenever that sound was there, these elementals will spoke the sound. Suppose if you are vibrating in a very positive high energy, then that sound will be there. So those kind of elementals will catch up that sound. When you are actually vibrating at the low frequency vibrations, those kind of elementals only will form that sound. They build the sound into an invisible form. So those elementals will build that sound in an invisible form. Through this form, radiant, airy, fluid, and solid physical matter is then carried. So slowly, that physical matter, it will come to that physical matter. So whatever your thought you are actually entertaining in your mind, that is getting formed in the form world. Remember that. Just as there are different forms in which the thoughts are exteriorized in the body, so there are different desires that inhabit, energize the form. So similarly, whatever the form that it is actually happening in the form world, so desires, so different desires, so different thoughts, different kinds of the forms will be formed there in the form world. Desires fill out any forms. So these desires, whatever that desires that you are filling up, those desires will fill out any forms. That is why abundantly you can just think of yourself. There is nothing wrong. So now let us take, I'm having some job. So I want to become a prime minister of the country. Let us take. So I can even dream, but oh, where in the world? So immediately our mind itself is actually thinking low. That is the problem. The problem is like, it is not that the universe, it is not the problem with the universe. Universe is ready to give whatever you want. It is again your thinking. You yourself are keeping some limitations. This is possible, that is possible. Your mind is keeping all the limitations to you. That is why you are not even dare to think of, not even dare to dream of the things. If you dare to dream of the things, things will happen. That is why in the visualization meditations or anything, they'll say that whatever you want to become, think that you are already becoming that. Go there in that positive energies. So when you go there in that positive energies, that will happen because you are emitting that sound in the form world. Whatever that you are saying, you're emitting that sound in the, when you are already feeling it, you are actually feeling that. So you are emitting your feelings, you are emitting the sound in the form world. That form world has to be exteriorized and it has to come. So does it make sense how the visualizations will work? Every feature, line, formation, lives desire the appropriate kind of sealed within the within the physical part through the blood. See, every feature, therein by the form of the thought. So the disease presents a structural form. So here he is saying every feature, every formation, every desire, everything is sealed within the physical part. So whatever the thought that you are just making, right, that thought is actually coming in the form of the so as the disease. So how these formation and the lines are presenting in the physical form, even the disease is also present in the physical form in a structural form. Physical part is all through the blood. So that physical part all through the blood. Blood is a stream in which life by the breath and desire by the breath are carried to the parts of the body. See here, blood is the stream where it is taking. You are thinking that it is only carrying some cells. No, it is also carrying your disease. It is also carrying your desires. It is also carrying your thoughts throughout your body. A part of the psychic atmosphere, its feeling lives in the nerves, in the blood. A psychic atmosphere comes in with the breath and goes out with the pores. A psychic atmosphere comes in with the breath and goes out with the pores. And comes in through the pores and goes out with the breath. So both the things, that is your psychic atmosphere of within you. So feeling and desire swing the breath in and out of the heart and blood. So your feeling and desire, whatever the thing is there, it is swinging through your heart and blood within you. In blood, there are two forms of the life that we know: red cells and white cells, red blood cells and white blood cells. We know as a sign, the blood is having those two. The red built body, when they are astral stream, remove the efficient matter, they return to the various system to the heart. So it removes and it is returning to the various system to the heart. They are vitalized form of the physical atmosphere by the air breath comes through the lungs. So this we know as a science, right? So that is what is happening. And the white, what is the white they are doing? White are chiefly vitalized by the water breath, which comes through the pores, through the water. They absorb and kill the bacteria and poisons and thus protect the body against the disease. And thus protect the body. So it is taking and it is protecting your body against the disease. When thought dwells, what is happening? When the thought dwells, there is an increased flow of the blood. That you know, right? Whenever some thought comes, there is an increased flow in the blood. You can see when you are angry, you can see your blood pressure was so high. What is happening here? Why it is happening there? Because when the thought is dwelling, when you are angry on somebody, what is happening within you? Your blood is, your cells are actually pumping up a lot of blood within you. So when your blood is pumping up a lot of blood, what will happen? There will be some stage, right? One who thinks usually not conscious. Yeah, whenever one who is angry is not conscious, even though now you know that when the angry is there, you can observe it, right? Whenever you are angry, your words are so fast, you will be very harsh, all the things. Why? Because blood is pumping like anything. No, the part of his body thought dwells. When the thoughts are proper, your thoughts are proper, the balance of constructing the destructive actions of the blood is not distributed. So when your thoughts are proper, whatever the blood it is flowing, there won't be any destruction is happening. Okay, they are normal. The blood is not, then the sediments of the thought build into the normal. So when it is a positive, the sediments of the build into the normal tissues of the body. So you are all happy. When the thought is improper, there is an increase of diminution of the flow of the blood. There is an increase. And when the increase of the blood, there is a temporary congestion of the part. The thought dwells, causes the anemia of the part. Remember, it is saying whenever the thought is improper, When the blood is flowing, is becoming, clot of blood is pumping up, so there is a congestion. So whichever the thought is dwelling, as we just now Balagar explained, so some thoughts are dwelling in a respiratory, some thoughts are dwelling in the digestive system, some thoughts are dwelling in the generative system, right? So whichever the thought is improper, in that particular place, the blood will flow on congestion. So because of that, there will be anemia of that particular part will happen. From the anemia comes the lack of healthy tissue. When it is an anemia means there is something lack. So there is a lack of tissue is happening to that particular part. So wasting away the readiness of the body and receive the infectious diseases. In that case, it will receive the infectious disease. This is what is happening when you are actually, the thought is dwelling inside the body. So see how the thought is causing the disease. When you are actually taking a thought, you may think that, okay, the other person don't know whatever I'm thinking. You may think that because it is a very impossible some other person knowing your thought, right? So you may think but it is not harming them. It is harming only you. When your proper thought is not proper on somebody else or something, when you are in the low vibrational emotion, then that thought is actually causing you bad to your body and to your body parts only. So remember always this, you are not doing anything good to anybody. By doing a proper thinking, you are doing good to you and good to your body. Thought of anger interfere at once with the circulation of the blood and causes the choking, temporary blindness, or a stroke also. That is what thought of anger. If you are so much anger, the circulation of the blood will stop. Sometimes you may get a choking, or sometimes the stroke also might happen, or some temporary blindness also can happen. Thoughts of fear causes the contractions, inanition, and trembling pillar. So you will feel like, oh my God, kind of thing, right? That is the things. Diseases due to infection or perceptions of the thoughts. If they were perfectly healthy body, it could not be infected with any disease. See, this is what you could have seen this in the corona time, right? So there are so many people who got the corona. It is not that even before the vaccinations also, there are so many people. The one who got fear, right? The one who was, oh my God, I got the corona, the world is going to end, I have to write will that this. So already you started thinking that you are going to go. Your system is not working. So you are actually dwelling those thoughts. But there are people, even 80s, 90s people, they were very strong. They went to the hospital, they took all the things, but they came back. Why? Because that fear is not there within them. You see, people died more than corona. I see the people died because of the fear only. Because the moment it comes, a lot of fear is there. Because of the fear, so perseveration of they attracted. Here he clearly mentioned that this book was not written after corona, it was written long back. The precipitations, because of the precipitations, whatever we think, infections you cause. There may be a lot of bacteria in the air, but if you are strong, if your thought is strong, you cannot attract that. When your body blood cells are very strong, positive, you cannot, even if that infectious bacteria is there, virus is there in the air, you will not get attracted. Because you are respirating, you are thinking. That is why I heard in some other class also, because we think that that will come, this will come. So especially in US, okay, the car might go, that this might go, this, the health might go, this will take so much of insurance. That insurance, that because our thought is that we may get it. We are already actually inviting that. Because of that only, so all the things you are attracting it. You are thinking and you are just taking. Suppose even if you take, even if your office gives, let us take, I'm not going to go to the hospital. I always think, I always say my doctor, I will visit only twice to you. One is my annual physicals, one is a half mid-year checkup. That's all. I will come to you. I will not come to, I don't want to come to you anytime. That is that kind of thinking, right? You should be having it. So because you have the insurance, so that if that comes, how much it covers, don't think all those things. Every time, so many people, whenever I go to office, right, the people will say, oh, this insurance is bad. If something happens, only this much. They keep on talking about those insurances because they are trying to attract it. Their precipitations are attracting all the infections. An infection can make hold only where a body or an organ in it has been made ready to receive it. See, an infection can hold, even if it comes, an infection can hold only where a body or an organ has made ready. I'm ready to receive you, then only you can receive. So you are already preparing yourself to receive your bacteria or a virus, then only you can receive this infection. Otherwise, you cannot, that will not stop you. Long continued precipitations of the thoughts in it make the organ ready. Continuous long thoughts, right? That makes your organs ready to receive those things. Okay, and that make up every day. So many thoughts, so many things that come, right? What we all did, I did, like I started with in 2020 March, it was started at 2020 we started the Parayana group, so everybody started coming it. Then 2020 April I started meditation, May or June I started inner journey, then I started book clubs. So my mind, I kept it in a different things, different activities, right? So when you keep on the different things, you will not be having only that. Those people who do not have all the other things, right, they feel like, okay, and that may come, okay, start washing this, if I want to go out, what will happen? So much thoughts. With all those dwelling in the thoughts, you are actually attracting that virus to come. When the condition and the place is ready and the time comes, see, because when long thoughts, when you are having, it is already there in the organ is ready to do it. When the condition, place and time, that is the three conditions, right? When the condition and place is ready, the time comes, this thought cycle recurrence happen. This form, if energized, the desire of the sufferer. So the desire of the sufferer, it is energizing the desire of the sufferer. It is not coming anywhere. Already the sufferer is actually ready to invite, right? It is giving a water to the desire of the sufferer. In case of the tumor or cancer, like abscess or a sore, the form is always the part of the thought exteriorized and the desire lives in it. In that part, it is lives in it. In case of infections, additional bacteria are the parts of the thoughts or the sufferer of, and the bacteria desires to eat. Okay. Next one is, even if an ulcer or a fever appears, or if an infection is occurred suddenly, the sediments which permit the sudden appearance have been gradually stored in a long time. You may think that suddenly the fever came, suddenly some infection came, nothing. It won't come suddenly. The sediments are already stored in your body for the long time because of your long-term wrong, improper thinking. So suddenly it is appearing when time and place is favorable, right? Then it is appearing. It takes a long time before the thought. Remember, this won't come just like that. It takes a long time before the thought flows into the breath and blood. There may be the thoughts which come and you are negating and which may go. Those thoughts will not be exteriorized. Only thing is when you are thinking that thought again and again and again, when you are nurturing that thought, when you are giving a water to that thought, then you are actually, that seed is sprouting in your body. Remember, when you are putting some seed in the garden, and if you put sunlight, water and everything, all the nutrition, then only it sprouts. Here also, one thought comes in your mind, you are not entertained it will not sprout. It will not exteriorize. Remember that. When you put a seed, you are putting a thought as a seed, and you are nurturing with, oh, tell that, tell these people, tell those people, something may happen, something. So you are actually giving a water to that thought, then only that will get exteriorized. Okay. It takes a long time. It will not just like that. It will not affect the tissue just like that. It comes abnormal. Only when it comes to the tissue, then only it will come abnormal. Abnormality may increase the considerable time before the functional disorder or a pain is felt to that part. It may continue. Abnormality may continue also for the long time. Then actually the physical or a functional pain will start in the part. Often a person in whose body foundation of an ailment has thus been laid dies of the another. Okay, there is something, he started something, some negative thoughts, and because of this something is going on inside the body. Okay, but when it is growing up inside the body, he died. Not for that particular reason. That particular thing was not exteriorized yet, but some other reason he died. So what will happen to this? With all the thinking and destiny, the classes that we have for 50 episodes, can anyone tell what will happen to that?
It will exhibit in the next birth. Whatever
The
you was
thought
thinking.
has a seal. The thought has a
It is
seal.
sealed. Yes.
Sealed. It is sealed with your soul. Whether your
It
body is there,
takes,
whether you change the body, it is sealed. So it will be, you may be living in the life world and you go. The soul may go and evolve and come back. When it comes back, the seal will come and put in your body. Or you know that you already have to exteriorize, you may take considerable, that kind of parents only, because you may say it's a genetics, but you already have to suffer. That is already there. So you choose such a kind of parent so that you will get that one. So this is all the plan, whatever the thinking that it is going inside your body. It is all your thing only. Often this person foundation element has been laid, and the new body may then born free from any actual melody, but old diseased condition is impressed on the AIA and carried to the predisposing to the disease. Disease carried, its impression will remain as an AIA, and until an opportunity of manifest again physically. Until an opportunity comes in this lifetime, it will be stamped and it will be there. In the AIA, everyone is potentially, in the AIA, every one of us will have potentially many diseases. Not all the diseases will come in this lifetime. If all the diseases, whatever that improper thinking that we have done in the past lives, if all the diseases comes in this lifetime, we may die long back. They are not exteriorizing. Actually, if you are pouring water to that, if you are giving a condition to that, only they will come. If you are not giving a condition, even if there is some diseases which is already sealed, that will not exteriorize. Remember that. Gnanena karma dagdanam, what Sri Krishna tells, right? So if you know that gnanam, you will not. You can remove your karma also. Similarly, here if the disease has to come, if you are thinking at this moment as a proper, and if you are not pouring any water to that, that condition will never appear. Because when condition was not never appear, you are not giving a chance to exteriorize that disease in this lifetime. You get it? Is it clear, or any question here?
Yeah, that is the opportunity. See,
yes.
When the conditions are right, then it will manifest.
That's
if
right.
They have the knowledge, then they can negate it.
They can negate it. Exactly. That's what it is. So a cancer is an ailment, develops very slowly. Everybody has a cancer cells, that we all know. Being a science, minimum science students, we all know every one of us has a cancer cells. If you are giving a water to the cancer cells, it will grow. If you are giving a water to the normal cells, it will grow. That much knowledge we have it, right? Cancer may be growth thousands of years. If one person gets a cancer, it's not about this lifetime. It's thousands of years of your lifetimes of improper thinking, then only the cancer comes. It is usually caused by the sexual thoughts appears about the middle period of the life and the later. Middle period of the life and later, if you are having a improper sexual thoughts, seldom in youth, not youth, but in the middle period of the lifetime. In a later life, a person ought not to entertain the sexual thoughts. Now, not to entertain. After later part of the life, he is saying that it is a good not to entertain the sexual thoughts in your later part of the life. Okay. When a person entertains them at this improper season, seldom may cause a cancer by weakening a single sex cells, because at that time, when you are actually thinking in the beginning itself also, there is only a single cell. Okay. Because there are feeling and desire, there are two things are starting, so that slowly they become one cell, became two, feeling and desire. This desire wants feeling, feeling wants desire. Okay, that is nothing but that wanting of each other is a sex, right? So that's how we have seen that here, when you are actually developing it, that single sex cells, they will scramble and they become double sexed cells in your body, and forcing them to succumb and double sexed cells. A little cancer may not be noticeable. When some small cells came, it may not be noticeable. That person may die with other cause also. Even if small kind of cancer cells were developed within you, you will not get the cancer because you may be dying with some other cause also. In the next life, when unreasonable sexual thought has a peculiar result, the cancer may form again. In the next life, if you again have this unreasonable sexual thoughts, this cancer may form again. More pronounced, a little larger, but still unnoticeable, and history goes on. A little, the second life also, still the cancer cells grows on, but it is not coming up. The history goes on, goes on, goes on. Only when thousands of cells were developed, then only the cancer will come out. Another cause of the disease is selfishness. See how danger. Another cause of this disease is selfishness, the kind that wants to eat up others for one's own selfishness. Whenever you want to eat up other things for your own selfishness, that is the biggest cancer. That is the one that you are going to get the cancer cells. Cancer is likely to become more frequent in a new age with the development of thinking, because we developed so much thinking, right? In that thinking, the selfishness, all the things were, so previously, that's what I say, right? Previously, this is our village, this is our place, kind of thing people used to think, right? Oh, Manoradu, so this is our place, boy. So later it became like my relatives, my thing. Later, that is also then only my family. Okay. Then slowly only wife and husband started thinking. And slowly it is becoming the thinking of my. Forget, means how much we are actually becoming selfish. You forget about anybody. You would have seen this thinking. You and me would have seen this thinking from our grandparents to now. You can see that how the changes were happened in our lives also, right? So, one hand, the cancer compels the thought that they should stop sexual thinking. On the other hand, thoughts in this age are affecting the cells more than before. See, why it is happening now more is one side, we are saying that stop sexual thoughts, but other side, it is compelling think more kind of thing. Thus, the old thought, which is the dormant, the old thought, which is already there in the dormant before, are now ready to exteriorize as a disease. We are thinking that in olden days, we don't have these many cancers. Now there are so many people having cancers. It doesn't mean that they do not have the cancer. The cancer cells were developed from the ages. So now it is getting exteriorized. That is what he is saying. With that, we have completed the 18th one. So 19th was comparatively a bit low, a little one. We'll complete it and we have 20 minutes or 17 minutes. The purpose of disease. So by all these things, we know the purpose of disease. What is the purpose of disease? It is coming to teach you something. Any disease is coming to teach you something, or it is coming because of your wrong, improper thinking. If you purge that, you can purge your disease. That is the purpose of disease, that it is coming. The purpose of the disease is to purge the body and breath form, to force the sufferer to learn something. It is trying to teach you something. Anything, any disease, it comes to you, it is trying to teach you something. That is what in the spiritual tablets also they always say. It is trying to teach you something. Try to learn what exactly it is trying to teach, and change your habits. So change your things so that the disease will go away. When the part of the thought will be exteriorized as a sediments, which are to be the seeds of the disease, the thinker of the triune self, to bring about balancing of the thought, by balancing of the thought by the doer, to align exteriorization with the universal adjustments. So when a part of the thought is exteriorized as a disease, in the triune self, the doer has to balance that thought. In the triune self, the balance that thought means why it came, you have to balance with the other thought, then you are able to do it. Suppose they say thyroid, most of the people will get, they're having the problem. Right? So thyroid, they say that in the spiritual things, when you are holding up some of your emotions, when you are holding up, you are not able to emit, or you are not able to speak up your things, express yourself, then all those emotions will be formed and it will block at the thyroid gland. Okay, that causes the thyroid issue. So when they say that, so what is that we have to do it? We have to express ourselves. We should start expressing ourselves. We should start using our, they say like, learn some music, if you are not a singer, learn some, what do you say, some Bhagavad Gita slokas or some some slokas kind of thing, then start chanting out loud. Then in that way, you may be activating your thyroid gland, because you struck, that thing was unexpressed, feelings were there, you got struck. So here, any thought, anything, when disease comes, you need to find out what could be the root cause. If you go and go to the doctor and get a medicine, that is actually removing the symptom of the disease. Symptom of the disease, not the root cause of the disease. So if you want to remove the root cause, you have to find out what is it. The condition is furnished with the gradual development reaches a certain stage. The time is fixed when it fits the cyclical recurrence of the thought. The time is fixed when these many, the number of thought, the times you entertain the thought, then that time only it will come. So that is how it is. The boiling out is what called the disease. When it is boiling within you, the same thought again and again and again and over the age births, then it will come as a disease. Sometimes outer signs are absent. Sometimes the outer signs, you may not see the outer signs like sciatica or paralysis, but the purging goes the same. Whatever within that, the purging goes the same. By the process of the disease, the sediments are brought out and removed. By the process of disease, whatever the sediments are brought out, are exteriorized. The sediments which remains have to be boiled over and over in succeeding life. If they are not come out as a disease and removed, then it has to come in the next coming life until they are boiled out and removed. That part of the physical body is cleansed. So when it is coming out, and when the disease comes out, think that way. When the disease comes, okay, there are so many thoughts which I don't know, whatever the thoughts I made it in the last lives, it is coming out, it's boiling out. But let me find out what could be the reason for it and remove your thinking. So do not we always try to find the solutions with others. Oh, those people are doing that, these people are doing that, how selfish they are. Suppose if you think, these people are behaving selfishly with me, what could be the cause? Maybe I have behaved like this with others, if not this lifetime, if some other lifetime, so I should not behave such a way. So even if they say that way, I should not be doing it. I should think a broad way. I should think broad. I should show only love. When you are thinking, when you are increasing your vibrations in that way, so then those things will not touch, because you already learned the lesson. Okay. Why the people will come to you? Because they are trying to teach the lesson. Why the disease is coming to you? Because it is trying to teach you a lesson. So when take that learning, change whatever that needs to be changed within you, so that you will not get caught up.
Mm-hmm. The self-love. When you lack self-love,
that is also.
Yeah.
There are so many blocks. That is most dangerous.
Yes.
That's the most dangerous. Self-love is because you are losing your confidence at all. When you are not loving yourself, there is somewhere I heard, right, in the Buddhism, it seems there will be only few people will be there in the Buddhist thing. They will sit, and whenever the people will come pour whatever their stories. Not all the people can do that. Only people with the high energies only, they will keep it there, it seems. So these people will sit and listen all the problems that the people are coming and telling, right? So these people have such an energies, they will not absorb their problems into their mind. Mm-hmm. When they absorb their problems into their mind, their energy is getting depleted. Okay. When you are a high energy only, then only you can listen to the other problems also. That is why they say that when you are not actually, when other people's problems are getting affected you, then don't listen to them, because you yourself is not high energy. Then keep them away. Instead of helping them, actually you yourself are doing harm to you. Getting affected. So even for those Buddhists also, they say that they will have limited number of people that they can talk, it seems, because after those limited number of people, they have to go to their monastery and do the meditations to increase their energies. But whenever you are listening to the pains of the other people, however the energy, then your energy will, you are using that energy for them. So that is why when you are doing when you are vibrating at the high level only, then only you will be able to give some issue, something, you can only listen there. Otherwise, you will get depleted, you will caught up. I know one doctor that I know, one of my friend. So she was not like, because when I met her, like she was not totally by herself or something like she like kind of. So when I asked her, she's a, what do you say, oncologist. So when I asked her, why are you like, what is the thing? Then she said, in my profession, you don't know, Prasanna, how many people will tell how many stories.
Mm-hmm.
So see, the cancer patient means already you saw that all the improper thinking only they are getting there.
Yes.
So when they are getting there, so they will always give you the, so oncology means that kind of people only will come, right? So they are giving daily, they are giving so many stories. And this lady is taking absorbing all the things into her, because it is her responsibility, it's her duty, right? So she has to do it. When she is when it is affecting her body, it's her affecting her thinking. So then, because that time I really don't have that kind of knowledge to tell her, but I only tell her that, okay, just leave everything, your office things, just leave everything out there. Otherwise, your personal life will get affected. So as soon as you come home, just involve yourself into your kids' activities, cooking or whatever the thing, and develop some habits that no harm in, oh, I am not interested in this sarees, the jewelry, some improper things. So I said this, it is also required because it is taking your attention away to something else. You just focus something else instead of just thinking about that. Because had I been having all this knowledge by then, I may be giving a better advice. But I'm saying, so this is how the thinking will, if you are not having a proper thing, then all the things you will get absorbed. So, see, this is all the thinking. And I gave an example of my friend who got the breast cancer, right? She is actually thinking. She got the breast cancer because her mother got it. She always thinks, every day she tests, it seems. Finally, one day it appeared. So thinking is that much dangerous. Thinking will result learning. If you don't learn, the disease will reoccur and experiences to be repeated until the lesson which the disease to teach has been learned. Then the disease will disappear and will not reoccur. So this is what it is. So some people, even the cancer will come after everything is done, it will go. Whatever the lesson, it is trying to teach, if you take it right, so it will go. You will not, it will not worry. Suppose if you are not taking any lesson, if you just, it goes, it will reappear because you have not learned the lesson. So always you should learn that.
In Louise Hay case,
relapse.
She had cancer, but she realized and she was making all positive affirmations.
Yes.
She changed. Yeah, she learned the lessons and she got the knowledge. She started teaching others.
Yeah, Joe Dispenza, sir, you are the placebo also, right? So when he got a surgery, if you see, he got hurt. His spine was all broken. And they said like it is not going to, even if end surgeries also, it will not come. But he sit and meditate. He think that, oh, my forming, the one bone is forming that bone. So with the thinking only, he is able to construct. They read that book. How the thinking powerful it is.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I read that. Yeah, Joe Dispenza. Yes,
Joe Dispenza's book. No, so that
you
much powerful.
You are the placebo.
You are the placebo. Yeah, you are the placebo. So recently, when I met one of my cousins, she is suffering through something. I referred that book because read that anyway. She is a meditator, so read that book and do some affirmations or do something. So you'll get good. So that's what it. Whenever you are actually having a sufficient knowledge, right? The way you speak, the way you think will differ. It not only helping you. So today somebody asked, oh, you are doing this Vedic Wellness University, you are spending a lot of money. What are you going to do? Are you going to change your career? I mean, I need not change my career. I'm already helping a lot of people. I can continue to do that. That is what it is, right? When you are helping yourself first. Forget about helping others.
Yes.
When you are having a knowledge, you are helping yourself. So when you are helping yourself, when you are a happy soul, definitely you can spread that happiness to surroundings. When you yourself is not a happy soul, you cannot spread any happiness, right? So many people will ask, how we are balancing the life, or you work full time, you have 2 kids, all these things, how you balance. That is all. When you are actually thinking right, when you are getting the energy from the cosmic energy with the meditation and all those things, you will have that power to balance. I work almost morning 5:30 to 11 o'clock. I don't take any rest. So 5:30 to 11 o'clock is the work schedule. I will always be busy. No matter what time I slept, I have to get up at 5:30. It's not saying everybody, if God has given equally the 24 hours, when one can do it, when others cannot do it, the time is a common thing, right? He gave equally to every one of us.
Yes.
So it is all how well we utilized it, how well we can manage it. So how to manage it? Oh, 4 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep. How can, I get up, I do my yoga, I do my workout, I do meditation again until 8 o'clock. So all that I'll do that, then I'll start my day. When you are doing that, you will start with such a kind of energy, right? So when you are starting with an energy, you feel like doing multiple things. You do your hunger, right? You'll be able to do it. When you are especially with the positive note, you will be able to do it. Anybody will be able to. When one can do it, anybody can do it. Okay.
Yes.
Disease teaches the doer what not to think and what not to do. Remember, it will not teach you what to do, what to think, because the disease came. It will say you should not be in that vibration. You should not think negative. So not things only it will teach. Disease teaches the doer what not to think, what not to do. Its purpose is that. Its purpose is not to teach the doer what should think and what it should do. That you should learn. That you should have that the knowledge, right? You should learn it. The disease will not teach you. If the cure is not a real cure, the disease returns after a while. If another disease is brought out when the first one is forced back. So when some other disease comes also, the first disease forced back. If you just treat the symptoms of the disease with your doctor's medicines, then that disease may come because you have not learned the lesson, right? You just
side effects.
Take some
That's
pill.
What we say, side effects.
So you just took the pill, you just subsided that particular pain. That is why it will come back. A real cure is complete elimination of the disease. That is the real cure. When you completely eliminate the disease, this does not happen as long as the impression on the AIA calls for the appearance of the disease in the physical body. So you have to remove that impression on the AIA. That signature is there in the AIA, right? That you should remove. The impression is called a sign, symbol, signature. Okay. And it commands the nature forces, or of course, they are not physical. According to the seal, some of them build diseased tissue and others build themselves into the disease. According to your signature only, it is happening. The seasons and hours of the day and night are vastly depending on the magnetic. So similarly, use it. Here, the seasons, it is not only the thing, right? The seasons and hours of the disease have vastly different from the magnetic. So you will say that, oh, if you do in the morning, it will happen. If you do even previously, my kids also used to make fun. Oh, I can read in the evening. I don't want to get up in the morning. I always used to say, no, get up in the morning. You will be able to read more. You will be able to understand more. Okay, they say, well, what matters? Anything is time, right? Why it matters? But it matters that we know, right? It matters because in the morning, you are thoughtless. Your mind is so fresh. Whatever you are actually reading, it gets absorbed. In the evening, you are tired. You are already filled up with so many thoughts. In the evening, the 1 hour, if you have to read morning, 15 minutes, you can finish. Not only forget about studies, even normal household work.
Yes.
Night, if you have to do, how much time it will take. Morning, immediately after getting up, if you do, how much work it will take. Or if some guest is coming, how much work it will take. Because you're focusing on that particular thing. When somebody is coming, your focus is only to make the house clean. Nothing else is coming to your mind. So you're able to do fast. Okay. So the same thing will produce a different efforts according to the time when prepared. This will not be withstand the modern skepticism. People will not understand when it is happen, right? So it may affect the differently. If it is morning, something happened, it differently. Evening, something, it differently it will happen. The modern people may be saying what it is true. The failure of physicians to effect more cures where there are possible is a largely of their ignorance and a contempt of these matters. So they do not know why there's so many physicians they could not able to do that is. So they do not know, because if you see, right, lot of doctors that I met usually in these days, they are more spiritual than normal people. Have you observed it?
Yeah, the recent, yes.
The recent ones. They'll become more, they are becoming more spiritual because they know, they are seeing the life at the fag end. That too, I have known a young cardiologist. So she's more into meditations, she's more into yoga. How? Her mother, I know. So when she's saying how, because they know, they are seeing the fag end of the life. So at one time, they know is nothing is in my hands. Doctor is doing its best. Some natural forces, something, they may see that this patient will not survive, that patient may survive. They may give their 100% best, but this patient is not surviving. So at that moment, they will know that this is not something that we are doing. Some natural force is there. Their karma,
power.
their things, their higher power is there. Because of that only it is happening. There is a book also where doctors don't want to speak about it. There's a book also, I saw that. I didn't get the exact author now. So I'll get some other time. So they know when at the fag end of they have seen that. That is why they will talk all these things. Many times, like, so these healers also, right? They most experienced surgeons, physicians, healers know that their efforts are only the aids of the process of nature affecting cure. So their things are only aids, but there is a nature is actually curing you. The nature is curing you. So because of that only it is happening. So here is also saying that there is everything that grows, right, is having a healing power. Everything that grows, remember, everything that grows is having a healing power. All your plants, all those things have a healing power. Okay. So here also many, so they are also can be aided in your healing things. Healing by laying hands, right? That is what the healers will do. Healing by laying hands is a relief affliction. The healer placing his hands on an affected part. What they are doing is, what is such a healing can be done by the person whose astral body is in touch with the form plane. Your astral body, your physical body is here, but your astral body is in touch with the form plane, where some elemental, there is a channel of forces where they are giving you the healing force. Your astral body is receiving all your thing. That those things, whatever the healing that your astral body is receiving, it is coming to the physical body. Because of that, physical body is getting healed. You must have heard so many astral surgeries that is happening for the meditators. So they will, when they are in the meditation, some astral forces will come and do some surgery kind of thing, and later people will get suppressed. That then the people who needs literally surgery, they don't need it because the surgeries already happened to the astral body. So physical body got healed. So I
think the one above it, you missed it. Many times a case.
Yeah, okay. Many times a case which appears the plain or promised success cannot be cured. That is what the doctors, right? So they may be, many times you feel that promising case, but that is not cured. Sometimes the case which appears hopeless, the other doctors are failed, that will be cured with a little attention. The reason is there is always some natural force is there. There is some other force is there which is actually curing. It is not mere the doctors, or it is not the mere the surgeries that you are doing it.
That's what we call miracle.
That's what we call miracle, yes. So there are a couple of one or two pages that which I left because this is actually referring the same thing, right, in the purpose of the disease. So you can just go through that whenever Balagar is covering in the next class, she can cover. I'll stop here because of want of time. So if there is any quick questions on this, I hope I'm clear this class, but if not, let me know.
No, it is clear, because main thing is when we don't balance our thoughts, so even though it is not affecting in this life, it carries into the next life also.
Next life also. That is a very pretty clear. So if you are making any unnecessary or unfair thoughts or wrong thoughts, wrong doings, because nobody can judge, you yourself can judge.
Yeah.
So that is going to carry the next life. So forget about all these things. You remove your, what do you say, selfishness. Selfishness is another one which is giving you a lot of things, right? All your low vibration thoughts, you just remove it. Whatever you have it, enjoy it without comparison, without jealous, without envy or on anybody. Just enjoy the present life and grow spiritually. So that will help you to get your self knowledge, atma knowledge or self knowledge, right? So that will help you.
That's
So
why,
because of all this knowledge only, we can think, okay, disease might come. Suppose if I get some pain, okay, what would have been the reason? What should I take out from my system, from my thought process first? Yeah, go ahead, Balagar.
Yeah, see, I used to have sciatica pain, a lot of sciatica pain. When I came in, before I was doing only, not this much, like I was doing only 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening. As I get more and more pain, I realized that maybe my meditation time is not enough. So I increased. When I increased, and also I realized that I should not keep thinking about what I'm not feeling that about that part. I had to love myself, each and every organ. That's what I learned in this self-love, how important, because I bought one of the first books I bought, Louise Hay.
Louise Hay, okay.
When I started reading it, then I realized, oh my God, we keep talking about when we are not feeling well, when we keep talking about that to other family members and friends, whoever.
So which means you are actually giving that. Watering that thought. You are nurturing that thought, right?
Thought more and more.
Yeah.
Then I realized, oh my God. Then I realized, and then I started saying, oh, sorry, and started loving, that part and more in every part of my body. And then I started accepting whatever I did. I'm so sorry, So eventually, slowly it started healing.
That's true.
That is how I got out of that. But the thoughts, the positive thoughts, positive affirmations are like wonders.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, for all those who present today, we are the 50th episode. That's the reason for my banner. So we traveled a long way, and 50 episodes of the same book. Yet we have not reached, I can say, 390 pages.
Wow.
In 50 episodes, we could complete 390, which means not even 10 pages per class, right?
Yeah.
It's less than that.
So this is a total 1,000 or 800?
1,100.
1,100. So even without figures, if you say maybe like at least,
maybe. But those figures we have to teach.
We have
we have to teach now and then.
1,100.
The book, actually, physical book is having 1020. Physical book, there it is showing 1080.